Hi, my name is Jim Bog. Welcome to the channel. It's so good to see you all again. If you like what I do here, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content just like this. Now, welcome to Diving Deep, a show here on my channel where I go more into depth about movies than I do with my standard reviews and my speedrun reviews. But this time I'll be getting into spoiler territory with Diving Deep here. So there's your warning. If you don't care about spoilers, hello. If you do care about spoilers, I suggest you go watch the film first and then come back and watch this review. Plus, there may be slight spoilers for Avengers Endgame too, but I'm sure most people have seen it by now. But just in case you're one of those odd few that haven't, there's your warning. So, Spider-Man Far From Home is directed by Jon Watts once again and stars Tom Holland as your friendly neighbourhood Spider-Man, this time taking to the streets of multiple countries around Europe to help Nick Fury and new character Mysterio, played by none other than Jake Gyllenhaal, to stop multidimensional creatures from destroying the planet as we know it. Or are they? So going into this movie, I was a little worried about how the movie could square up to Endgame after the huge success and just the impact that it had on the world. But after watching it, in my opinion, it's not as good as Endgame. I don't think any superhero movie will be as good as Endgame, at least for a long time now. But this movie came dangerously close. But after letting this movie experience settle in my brain for a few days, I'm here to tell you guys exactly why I think Spider-Man Far From Home is an absolute win.
I see this as an absolute win.
I've loved Spider-Man for as long as I remember. He's been my favourite for countless amount of years. There's just something about the character to me that stands out among the rest of the MCU and just superheroes in general. What disappointed me slightly about 2017 Spider-Man Homecoming was the fact that he relied more on the tech in his suit than his actual spider abilities, which goes against what the character is all about. But this movie decides that it's time that Peter Parker went from being a kid to stepping up and becoming the hero that we all know and miss today. Now, this movie isn't perfect by all means. I do have some issues with it, but for the most part, I believe that this is almost my favourite Spider-Man movie. Just almost. It's kind of on the borderline of almost. So for one, the cast once again are fantastic. Tom Holland proves time and time again why he's the best live-action adaptation of this character. Sorry about that, Tobey fans. I fully respect the fact that Tobey Maguire will always be Spider-Man in a lot of people's hearts, and he still is to me. I have a lot of nostalgia for Maguire's Spider-Man, but there's something to me that Tom Holland brings to this character which stands out just a little bit more. Tobey Maguire to me was a better Peter Parker than he was as Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield was a better Spider-Man than he was Peter Parker, but Tom Holland somehow manages to shine as both. Even the man and legend himself, Stan Lee, even said with his own words that Tom Holland is exactly how he envisioned Spider-Man when he first wrote the comics.
Tom Holland is the greatest. We are so lucky to have him. I had lunch with him back in the States a few months ago, and he was born to play Peter Parker. He's perfect, and you're going to say the same thing when you see him.
So Tom Holland has that typical Peter Parker awkwardness around women, the nerdy aspect of him and being the smartest person in the room, while kicking ass as a superhero that everybody loves. So not to a lot of people's surprise that Tom Holland pretty much takes the spotlight here, but Zendaya was great as well as MJ. I think it really helped that Tom Holland and Zendaya, I believe, are a couple, or were a couple, I don't really know. They are a couple in real life, which can sometimes help with on-screen chemistry. We get to see a lot more of her this time than we did in Homecoming. She's not just this weirdo who doesn't have any friends. She's not just the character that's just there for the sake of a laugh. Behind it all, she's a very strong-willed character and willing to go after what she wants, while still finding some insecurities in her personal life, which the movie does address a couple of times. But I won't bore you with her too much, but I do personally think that she put on a better performance than Kirsten Dunst's Mary Jane Watson and Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy. But at least in this movie, she doesn't need to be saved all the time or stupidly run into dangerous situations, which could get her killed. But I'm afraid if I'm addressing a big problem I have with this movie, it's the way they handled the reveal of MJ finding out Peter is Spider-Man. It's not anything to do with how they did it, it's just the fact that it ruined it with the trailer. The reveal of MJ finding out Peter was Spider-Man in Spider-Man 2 was done incredibly well. No dialogue necessary, MJ just looks at Peter without his mask on, and just the pure look of disbelief and shock on her face was enough to win anyone over. So I think it was a big missed opportunity in Far From Home that they made the reveal less impactful than it should have been by showing it in the goddamn trailer. It's disappointing stuff, but it doesn't take you out the movie. The reveal in The Amazing Spider-Man was just shit anyway, so no one really cares about that one. Now, another character I want to talk about in particular is the standout performance from Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. The trailers projected his character as the good guy, but what confused me is that I've always known Mysterio to be a villain. I don't know much about his character other than what I've seen him in Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions for the PS3. But with Quentin Beck's character in this movie, it really shows just how good of an actor Jake Gyllenhaal is. The fact that he can go from this relatable character and then halfway through the movie completely change and act the way we all know he should. Which isn't good. Mysterio is the master of illusion, and the reveal that these elemental creatures is all just an illusion didn't take me out of the movie at all. I thought it was incredible. But the one aspect of the film which I did not expect at all was the fact that they beautifully tied in Mysterio's story with Tony Stark. I'm not sure if Mysterio and Stark had any kind of contact or any storylines together in the comics, but the fact that Jon Watts went back and used old forgotten characters from the older MCU movies and brought them together into this movie just made everything full circle, and certain plot lines which we forgot about are all brought together again. So there are plenty of great performances going around in this movie, with probably the best I've seen Jon Favreau as Happy Hogan. And Samuel L. Jackson is pretty much never bad. The man's just got this ability to be good in whatever he's in. So let's dive into the action. In this movie, it has some of the best I've seen from this version of the character. In Spider-Man Homecoming, clearly he was afraid of a lot of things. I mean, he even jumped when Donald Glover slammed the car boot down. And most of Homecoming, he was getting his ass handed to him. In this film, it shows just how much he's grown as a character, and although he's pretty much fighting drones and only drones throughout a majority of the film, I still found myself invested and super excited to see whenever the action was happening. The way Spider-Man is using these drones as objects to swing from while destroying a shit ton of them, while dodging bullets, and while just being Spider-Man was freaking awesome. It was one of my favourite scenes in the entire film being where Mysterio manages to get inside Peter's head and proper messes around in there. Which gives Peter the push he needs to step up and take out Mysterio, which makes up more great character building moments and more character building stories when Peter realises Tony Stark gave him the super tech glasses for a reason, and Peter learns a valuable lesson when he trusts Mysterio. The movie just addresses issues like that just beautifully. But what this film did, which I absolutely loved, was that it gave us something I've wanted to see from this version of the character for a long time, and that's a goddamn web swinging montage. I just want to see Tom Holland's Spider-Man swinging through the city of New York, and we finally get that. I know it doesn't happen till pretty much the end, but we finally see Tom Holland's Spider-Man swinging through the goddamn city of New York, and it's just incredible. Some of the shots and the camera angles, he's flipping up and down, taking selfies while he's swinging. It's incredible stuff. Even if it was only for a few seconds on screen, I felt like my mind was fully at peace. It's a little irritating that it took this long just to see a web swinging scene, but I understand that it's all gone down to character building moments, and we just got to think here. Peter Parker is supposed to be 16 years old. This is going to be a long process for a teenager to just jump into something like that. The only problems I have with this movie is that they annoyingly took out a scene from the trailer of Spider-Man actually fighting actual people, actual criminals, being Spider-Man. I don't know why they took it out. It's not really addressed. But I think one of the biggest missed opportunities in this film was the fact that they killed off Mysterio. Now, I really hope that this isn't the end of Jake Gyllenhaal's character, because I really want to see this guy again. How they're going to handle it, I don't really know. Whether it'll be like flashbacks, or they'll bring him back somehow, or his death was just an illusion in the first place. I just don't know. But I think the most annoying thing of this movie is that it seemed to completely blow past anything that might have happened after May found out that Peter was Spider-Man. It would have been great to see maybe just some little family conflict between the two, and some form of struggle to build more character arcs. Spider-Man 2 did this really well when Peter confessed to May about what happened to Uncle Ben. And even The Amazing Spider-Man had some interesting character moments between Peter and May, but for some reason this film blows past this and May is suddenly just okay with everything. I'm not saying that she shouldn't be okay with it, and I'm not saying that The Amazing Spider-Man is a better film. It's clearly not. It just would have been nice to see some build-up to it, or some slight flashbacks to exactly what happened, instead of cutting to everything being hunky-dory and Bob's your uncle. So for the post-credit scenes, I might save for a separate video entirely, but to me, Spider-Man Far From Home was everything I wanted in a Spider-Man movie, and more. A web-swinging montage, great characters, great breathtaking visuals, cool Spider-Man moments, great characters, and a great villain. It's not quite the best Spider-Man movie of all time. That title, to me personally, still belongs to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. But I'm telling you now, Spider-Man Far From Home is an absolute win, and I'm going to give it an A+. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. This is my second attempt at a diving deep video. I hope you liked it. For all the views I got on my Godzilla review, I really do appreciate that. It really did help the video, and it's one of the most popular I have on my channel at the moment. Tell me what you thought of Spider-Man Far From Home down below in the comments. As always, I hope you have a fantastic day. If you're new to my channel, please consider clicking that subscribe button, ring that notification bell so you don't miss anything. Remember, you were awesome. Take care.